Mary Saw. It's a Shudder film exclusive. The movie takes place in the mid 1800s. The story is about a girl, two girls, that are both part of a very strict religious system, community, call it what you want. And these two girls love each other, but they love each other in a very intimate way, okay? And that's a no-no for this religious community, and they try to hide it from them, and then it just gets ugly. It starts with one of those girls being tried for some kind of heinous crime. She's blindfolded, and you see blood coming down from where the eyes would be, implying that she lost her sight. Something happened. This must have been Mary, and this must be. That's why the movie is called The Last Thing Mary Saw, right? The problem wasn't that it had this kind of folk tale drama attached to it that reminded me of a movie like maybe The Witch or something like that. That's not what bothered me. I like movies like that. What bothered me was that it dragged. To me, it dragged. It was boring. It wasn't scary at all. There was a supernatural element of a sort there, and you do see things happen in this movie that make you go, oh snap, really? You know? And I had a couple of those moments in this film, but it did not save the movie. It did not save the story for me. And the reason why it didn't save the story for me is because the message it was trying to convey throughout this movie, I believe, was something that did not deliver well. And this was the message. And it was, I believe one of the girls quoted it, saying that something to the effect of, if, God creates enemies so that his good could become more manifest. There are so many bad people in this world. In this movie, you see vengeful people that are against what their relationship is about. They want to try to get away. They don't end up getting away. They end up getting severely punished for for what the community calls their iniquities together. And it kind of goes to another level of not only the discrimination and the idea of how people who can really love each other get hurt, but at the same time there is a note of vengeance that you also sense from here that makes it more of a drama than it is a horror film. I'm surprised it's even on Shudder. It should be on something like Prime or something, because in truth it wasn't scary. There's this part of the movie where the girl refers to something in a book that has something to do with something resembling witchcraft. So there is elements of witchcraft witchcraft practices in this movie, but they're so minimal and they're so like almost as a second thought in this film that it doesn't really grab you, and really you're more concerned about the welfare of these two young ladies than about the matriarch of the community or family or whatever that is kind of persecuting them. And you see how that happens with her and what ultimately happens with her, which is a big deal. And then there's the father, and then there's the other siblings. When I think about when people are persecuted for being accused of different kind of bad things, whether it's being a witch or being other things, and it's for religious reasons, you really start to see how they bastardize faith-based topics like that. Movies do it all the time. This movie did it too. I just don't think it did it well. The preview grabbed me, and I thought it was going to be a lot creepier than I ended up seeing. And I think maybe I can blame the preview a little bit, but at the same time, I don't want to down it too much. Obviously, this movie did get some kind of acclaim, and once again, it has more of a drama twist, appeal to it than it does a horror one. Though the horror element is there, it's just not as strong as I think it could have been. So that's my feeling of The Last Thing Mary Saw. I'm gonna give The Last Thing Mary Saw just one coffee cup. It was, one and done for me. I'm not gonna get it on Blu-ray. I'm not gonna watch it again. It's just didn't turn out to be one of those films that I would definitely appreciate. I would only appreciate it as far as its attempted message to be conveyed regarding, how far are you willing to go for love? And how far are other people willing to suppress that love for the sake of dogma, for the sake of, their own selfish wants? Because, people, when you see people doing what they do in this film to kind of stop these two girls, they think they're doing them a favor. They're not. It's like, it's definitely coming from a selfish place. They're doing themselves a favor, if anything, and that's where you might get grabbed for a while. I did feel sympathy for the two main characters, the two girls in this. The movie did help me care for what happens to them eventually. Would I recommend you watch it? Yeah, watch it. Just because I didn't like it doesn't mean you won't like it. I've heard of other horror review people on YouTube that actually enjoyed the movie, and they gave good reasons why they did. So kudos to them for them enjoying it. Maybe I'm just a stick in the mud. Who knows, right? So if you like this content, please consider subscribing, tap on the bell for future notifications, for future horror and coffee content. And until next time, this is Ralph Perez from Horror and Coffee, having my coffee here, drinking it because it's cold in this room, it's winter, and I need hot coffee. So until then, take care.